Hi there.
Here we are. Hello. This is my mom,
Hi.
Maria. My mom, Maria. Okay, cameras. Fantastic. Mum saying, I was explaining to her about the other day when I was talking with my cousin in Marathon.
Mhm.
And she said, but it's much better if you can see someone, you can also see where they are and what's going on with the behind the so relationship is supposed to Olympics. It makes you happy to see someone else and their expressions. It's quite amazing what's happened with technology.
네, 이는 πολύ εξαίρετο αυτό, γιατί είναι αγαπημένα πρόσωπα που θες να τα πεις και πιάνεις χαρά που βλέπεις αυτά τα πρόσωπα.
Yes, Nick, it's an exceptional thing. You get a lot of joy out of being in that shared space with people that you love, and it gives you joy.
My name is Lyle. I am a father of a 1.5-year-old toddler. It's been a quite journey to be a father, and especially during lockdown. We did have our mother-in-law and father-in-laws plan to come and give us a hand and spend some time together as a family, but it didn't happen for 1.5 years. It's sad, but here is where the digital technology comes to rescue.
I live in Sydney and my daughter lives in Germany, my mother lives in Wales, and my sister and my brother lives in England. When we went into lockdown, they organised on a Friday night in England, Saturday early morning here in Australia, Zoom quizzes. And it was really fun because every fortnight we had a theme. So whether it was movie stars or sports heroes, something like that, you had to dress up accordingly and create a background or whatever. My sister, for example, she made herself a Toy Story outfit, the cowgirl, and threaded bits of coloured paper and for the plaits in the hair and everything.
First time video chat. Yeah, I think it started with QQ, the biggest instant messenger app before WeChat in China. So yeah, they added this video chat function around 2010. At that time, I was doing my master degree in uni, and it's not at my hometown. So naturally, I use this with my parents. Like in a uni, new place, and you show them around the campus and the place you live, they can feel my excitement by looking through the lens.
Γιατί τα πρώτα χρόνια που θέλουν να δούνε τους γονείς τους πολύ παλιούς, δεν μπορούσαν να τους δούνε.
Yes,
Ήτανε κάτι και τώρα είχαν παράπονο με αυτό. Αλλά τώρα εξελίχθηκε ο κόσμος και έχει τόσο ωραία πράγματα να δεις.
yes.
Σαν να είσαι κοντά,
Ναι.
τόσο κοντά.
Yeah. In past years, like when Mum first migrated and for quite a few years after that, before you couldn't see the people, so you had I think the sense you used, it was like a bit of a sadness that you couldn't see those people like your parents or your friends who were still in Greece. And now you have this and it brings you closer.
Let me see if I have a Zoom background here. I'll do a universe. Like one of the things I've noticed, people changing backgrounds. Sometimes it's real life related, like their living environment, and sometimes it's like imaginary, like hundreds of cats standing behind, like in an island. It's really cool because you can see people's interests, like this inviting people to this personal space. This obstacles can be perceived as obstacles, but on the other side, it can be something that reveals other part of you, which makes you feel more connected with people.
When I first was introduced to this family lockdown quiz, I was so excited at the thought of being with everyone that I never slept. Friday night for me, I'd go to bed at 10 o'clock or whatever in the evening, but I'd got the alarm on for 4:30 or 5 o'clock, whichever. But I was so excited at the thought of seeing everyone, and I enjoyed it so much that I just didn't sleep. And so, I was literally just, I kept checking the phone, see what time it was. I mean, it was just lovely. And, we did the quiz and everyone had fun and everything else. We still hung on at the end, and we were all chatting away for an extra hour after the quiz.
Toddlers, they are very energetic, they move, but like what they do is they invent this head-to-head. There is a screen there, but it's like you have your world and I have our home, but it's separated with this screen. But this screen is it's a touching point where you can put your head to the screen, and the other side they can put their head to the screen. They feels like they are touching their head together, So it's invented by Yana, by my daughter. She initiated this. So we don't know what happened, why she want to do that in the first place, but then we realized she is trying to get this physical touch through this screen, So the grandparents, they love doing this now. Every time they have this physical touch through a screen.
Last year, we didn't have such a great lockdown in Sydney, but my aunt who was living in Athens, they were in strict lockdown. And so that's when we started to have the nice time. Yes, love says now it's us. No, we're in strict lockdown. And so I think I was teaching, so after I'd finished my Greek class, which would end at about 9 o'clock in the evening, I'd try call my aunt, and if I could see that she was online on FaceTime, I'd call her, and then I'd call Mummy. And I'd say, all right, let's sit down and have a chat. And so we were able to do that. And that was nice. Yeah. But this year, because of the fires, in the last month, we've tried calling, and we haven't been able to get a connection because my aunt was in the mountainous area. She'd gone to the village because it's summer, and the connection's not great because of the mountains and also the fires.
This connection through internet is life-saving, it's making huge difference, especially in this lockdowns period, and with an infant growing to a newborn and then infant and then toddler, this whole process. iPad and Zoom helps a lot. It's a big life-changing technology.
I think that if you are living in a different country, I think to actually see someone on the screen is very special and precious. Connecting with people that I'd left behind, it helped fill a void, and my children have grown up with that. So they've grown up, as small children looking at the screen, communicating with the screen.
There are still fires in Greece. I did speak with my second cousin, and he was the one in Marathon. So, and he had his parents down in the southern Peloponnese. So he was able to tell me, okay, our villages are okay where they are, but the opposite mountain ridge has been completely burnt. Όπως όταν μιλάμε με τους ανθρώπους που είναι στην Ελλάδα, που είναι η Θεία Βίκη και άλλοι τα ξαδέρφια, και όταν περνάνε κάτι, σαν όπως περνούσαν τον αποκλεισμό ή είναι οι φωτιές, νιώθεις ότι επειδή έχουμε εδώ την επαφή με την οθόνη,
Ναι, το αισθάνεσαι πιο πολύ.
Yeah, you feel it more,
Το αισθάνεσαι πιο πολύ σαν να είσαι εκεί.
as if you're there.
Ψυχή σου.
You feel it in your spirit, in your soul. What people may be going through.
Το νιώθεις.
Yeah, it's good that you are able to get this immediate sense of what people are going through, but also it is also disheartening or sad. It brings on sadness as well.
Because everyone's so busy, you know, if you want to compare it to life before FaceTime and technology, well, when I was growing up, every Sunday we would visit our grandparents, and so we had more time together. As much as the lockdown had sort of a negative tone to it, it was actually positive in a certain, because they were all different age, different generations as well. You know, we'd got my niece and her future husband, and then we had my sister, then we had my mother, then we had my uncle, and you know, it was all different generations coming together. So that was really good. You know, it was nice.
The grandparents want to spend meaningful time with them, so they come up with this singing idea. Because for this stage, my daughter reacts to music very, very well. She loves music, so she starts to dance and move her body when you have this music. And especially my mother and my mother-in-law, they are good at singing, and they specifically go out to seek the kind of music which Yana likes, and to really practice and to have this interaction through music, of course mediated by this video conferencing technology, and to see my daughter and to start to dance and to laugh. For me, I love seeing it happens, because it really makes the lockdown feels not that bad, and all of the distance not that bad.